pleasure to be here. I loved seeing all the projects. Again, my name's Doug Erickson. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, quick and painlessly, hopefully. I grew up just north of Berkeley, but spent most of my time in Santa Cruz. Why? Because I grew up with a sort of a hippie mom, dad. We lived in a Volkswagen bus most of the time when we were down in Santa Cruz for the beaches, so I learned to surf and became addicted to it at a very early age. I graduated, you can do the math, in 1978 from UCSC with a degree in Latin and English literature. It gets funnier. While I've lived and traveled throughout the world, had many jobs around the world, Santa Cruz is my home. It's where my family is and my community. My career, I've been in tech for more than 30 years with executive positions at Cisco, WebEx, Sugar CRM, and currently Nanigans. And as Sue pointed out, I founded the Santa Cruz New Tech Meetup. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary. We meet on the first Wednesday of every month. And I'm also part of the Monterey Bay Economic Development Partnership. Co-founded Cruise Hacks, which was previously Hack UCSC, co-founded Cruise Cares, and an angel investor in Inboard Technologies, Buoy, and a few others. And now, the audience participation portion. You didn't think this was going to happen, but it is. So, we're going to do a little exercise here. Hopefully you all have phones or a piece of paper or something. And what I want you to do is to think about your favorite, one or two favorite experiences when you were up to 10 years old, in your youth, okay? You don't have to write them down, but it helps. One or two. Could be beat my brother in a race, or whatever it might be, okay? Just think about that for a second. You're not going to share this with anybody, so you can put whatever you want. But we're going to take 30 seconds. Your favorite experience, something that made you really happy, something that was like, wow, a wow moment, all right? Now we're going to do the same thing when you were a teen. One or two experiences. And again, it could just be a word if you want. And you will not share this, particularly if you were a teen.
It's not that.
And we're only going up to college here. During your college years, what was your one or two favorite experiences? Again, just jot it down and think about it, and keep that in mind as we go through this exercise. Why am I asking you to do this? About 15 years ago, I was at WebEx, and they chose 50 of the top performers to go to a 3-day offsite with a person called Aviv Shahar. And he did the same exercise. So what we're doing here in 2 minutes took 3 days for us. And it was an enlightening experience for me. And I'm going to walk you through some, not all, of my favorite moments in my life. And it's going to make sense, hopefully, at some point. And since I was a Latin and English literature major, there's going to be a book, as part of everything that I do here. So, as I said, grew up sort of in a hippie family, but my dad was really into physical sports as well as he's an educator. And he challenged my older brother and I to do push-ups. And he said, I want you guys to do 50 push-ups, and when you do, I'll give you $20. $20 is like, now it's like worth like $100 or $200, but it was a lot of money for a 6-year-old kid. And it took me about a month, but I was able to do it. My dad gave me a $20 bill, and I was like just so content. Well, as I said, we did a lot of road trips in the bus, and I wish I had that bus now, because on the back of it said impeachment with honor. But sorry, I'll try not to do too many political things. But and as would happen when you're in a family of 6 kids, your older brother is sitting next to you. He's nudging you, he's kicking you, he's doing odd things to you. And my dad's watching in the rearview mirror, and he sees that I'm about ready to blow up. And he sees my brother lick his hand and get ready to wipe it on my face or something, right? Total kid stuff. And so my dad says, hey, you guys, whatever you do, I will do twice to you. I will do double to you. And so I thought about it for a second, and I felt that $20 bill, pulled it out, and gave it to my brother. And I said, Dad, you owe me 40. And so you might call that my first entrepreneurial moment, right? I took risk. I took a lot of things that were pretty scary at that point, and I risked that $20, by giving it to my brother and thinking maybe my dad wouldn't pay me, but I did it. So that was sort of my first entrepreneurial moment. And that was like, again, if you're looking at years of your life, that was one of the important ones for me. Second one, of course he did, yeah. Yeah. No, my dad's a very honorable guy. At age 12, I was totally addicted to surfing. And in this photo here, you can see that's me on the left. No, this was in the days before wetsuits, right? So that's why my voice is high. Anyway, so I was very addicted to it. And my dad, at one point, he decided that, only like dregs, only like losers surf. And so he said, Doug, I don't want you surfing anymore. What? He says, well, it's just the types that you hang out with. What? He says, he said, the ocean is polluted. You can't go in the polluted ocean. And I said, no, it's not polluted. I've been in it. And when's the last time you've been in the water? And he hadn't. And so I decided to go research it. At that time, I went to the local libraries, found nothing, went to UC Berkeley's library, researched it, couldn't find it anything. They thought it was kind of weird, a 12-year-old kid going into a library. I want to know if the ocean's polluted. And then, because it was the era, I guess, and because I was nearly a teenage boy, I decided to go to a higher authority. And at that time, in my mindset, the highest authority was the Playboy Advisor. So I wrote to the Playboy Advisor. Dear Playboy Advisor, I love to surf. My dad says the ocean's polluted. I live in Santa Cruz, Berkeley, Northern California. What do you know about this? Yours truly, Doug Erickson, Esquire, because that's what you used to do back then. And about a month later, I got a response in the mail. This is real mail. And it was, Dear Doug Erickson, Esquire, as far as we can tell, we've seen no evidence that the ocean is polluted where you're surfing. It's a great exercise. And tell your dad it's a great way to meet girls, And so what did I learn there? Seek knowledge, Whatever you think that higher authority is, seek knowledge. It's very important, part of my life. Age, actually 15, I told my dad, I really want to travel. I want to go to Europe. I want to see the world. And he says, that's great. My dad was a high school math teacher with 6 kids. And he said, go raise $600, get straight A's for a whole year, and learn a language. He thought it was, he challenged me always. And so I did. And a year later, I was on my way to Europe. I bought a 10-speed bike because, for you youngins there, that's all they had back then. And I toured Europe. I went from Germany up through Austria, over Switzerland, and then up the French-German border to Strasbourg, across to Paris, and then back again. And this is in the day and age where I would send a postcard once a week. My parents didn't know where I was. You know, they never had any idea, but it was an incredible experience. What did it teach me? I can create my own future. I have to have a dream, and I can go make it myself. I can travel, and I can learn about other cultures, and it really expanded my way of thinking. Jump up to 24. I'm not going to take you all through 50, 60 years, by the way, just so you know. As I said, I graduated from UCSC with English and Latin literature degree. And when I graduated, I knew I loved Santa Cruz, and I didn't want to leave. What the hell am I going to do? What was I thinking, you know? But so there was a new sport coming out called windsurfing, and I decided to use the skills that I'd learned in critical thinking and writing from UCSC, and I wrote a business plan, created prototypes, things like that first, but for a windsurfing company. Raised $80,000, brought a partner in, and the two of us took off on business, which we knew nothing about. But we went off on it. We were convincing enough in our business plan that, you know, that these investors who didn't know us, should take a gamble, you know. And a year and a half later, we were almost out of money, but we created some incredibly, at the time, revolutionary booms. The booms are the part that you hold on to in windsurfing, and universals. And we had bought all the aluminum and all the parts and everything, and we went to the anodizers in San Jose. Anodizing is a type of treatment that you do on aluminum so that it doesn't corrode and things like that, and it looks pretty. And so we went there, and we said, hey, we have 1,000 booms. We'd put every penny into this, that we had shaped ourselves, and we said, we need these anodized. And the guy says, okay, you're going to have to wait about a month and a half because we're out of black anodized paint or whatever it is, right? Solution. And my partner freaks out, and he's, ironically, his name is Justice, was, or still is, but, and he said, we're dead. We're dead. We're totally dead. We put everything into it. We couldn't wait a month and a half. We had to ship before the end of the season. We had to get the money and the revenue back in. And I kind of like was stunned for a minute, and then I said, well, what other colors do you have? Well, we have red, we have pink, we have green, we have purple, we have blue, we have, you know, yellow, we have all this. And I said, what about blue? Let's do our booms in blue. And my partner, Justice, said, are you insane? What are you thinking? Booms are black. Booms are totally black. Everybody knows booms are black. What do we have to lose, Justice? You know, let's give it a try. He agreed. We did it. Overnight hit. We sold everything. We couldn't keep them in after that. And the other benefit was that in the dozen-plus magazines out there around the world for windsurfing, you'd see these pro riders doing great things on blue booms. And everybody knew that those were our company, Fleetwood, also called Surf Tech. That's a whole nother story. But we had built this amazing new boom. So what did I learn there? Why was it a great one? Pivot blue. That's the way I think of it, is pivot blue, and there's more to that. If you've read, anybody heard of Jay Nichols? So there you go. So Blue Mind is his book. It's all about the science behind why people who live near water and ocean are healthier and happier. And much of my life is related there. So, okay, we're going to do one more. And at age 28, I had sold my windsurf company and decided to go follow this other guy that was doing everything that I really wanted to do. And so I sold it at prime time, and I went to initially into the tech world at WebEx. That guy's name, by the way, was Steve Jobs. He's a hard guy to follow, but I knew that I loved tech and everything that was going on. And now WebEx was the last of the web conferencing market. About a year into it, Microsoft bought the #1 web conferencing company. It was called Placeware at the time. And they rebranded it, and they called it, I think, Live Meeting or something like that. I think there was another name before that. But and they thought, we own the market. WebEx people said, we got a better product. We have a better group of people. We have better culture. We're going to win this war. And we kept going, and we kept gaining market share. And about a year into it, Microsoft said, free 3 months, free year if you switch from WebEx to Microsoft. And we kept gaining market share. About another year in, they said they'd hired our 20 top salespeople, gave them all $100,000 golden parachutes because they thought, we just have to have the right salespeople to do this. And we continued to gain market share. By the time we were acquired by Cisco for $2.2 billion, we had 67% market share. What did that teach me? Find a cause. Find something that you truly believe in, and that'll give you the passion to make it through all the challenges. And we also really strongly believed that we were going to make the world a better place because we think, and I still do, that getting in a car to travel places, getting in a plane to travel, is a waste of our Earth's resources. It's damaging our environment. It's a waste of time and productivity. So we all believe very strongly as a culture at WebEx we were going to change the way the world did business, and we were doing this to make the world a better place. So I'll sort of stop there, and 4 minutes left. So what this did is, in this exercise that we did with Aviv, is to look at all of our experiences in life. And again, we did like 6 per age bracket. And when we looked at them, we saw that, hey, those good times in life, they have similar experiences. I liked opportunities. I liked learning and knowledge. I loved traveling. I loved the ocean and blew mine, and I needed a cause to believe in. And I saw that those things were all through my life and that I was, what I believe, on the right path. And consequently, if they were not, and there's been times where they didn't line up, I knew I was on the wrong path. In fact, after that offsite that we had with WebEx, roughly a third of the people that participated in it left WebEx. Why? Because they decided that their true path was going somewhere else. It was starting their own company. It was working for a nonprofit. It was whatever it is. But some of those people left. So I find that this is a very important exercise. It helped me in terms of getting my compass set in life to find out what it is that I want to do in life. And so taking it a little bit further here, about 5 years ago, I met this odd character named Toby Corey. I hope this is recorded and I can send it to him. Toby Corey, out of college, created a little company called USA Web. Anybody heard of it? And it's the largest IT company in the world. I think he went IPO at $4 billion valuation. Then he got out of that. It was hired on at Solar City as president to run Solar City. I think he retired initially at 40 years old. Then about 5 or 6, I don't know, years later, Solar City and Tesla called him and said, hey, we're going to do a merger. We need you to come back and really set things straight. You got to commit for 2 years. So he did that, retired a second time, and I hate it when he says that. He also teaches at Stanford, an entrepreneur class. He's on the board of Advanced Microgrid Solutions, Inboard Buoy, and a number of other companies. Why am I bringing up Corey? Because over the past couple years, Toby has put together this concept of Zentrepreneur. And being a Zentrepreneur, what is it? Well, he has a book that he's writing about this. And I'm going to just point out 3 or 4 of these that I think that really resonate well with me. And I hope will resonate well with you as well, because it's all about, I think, making this world a better place, being more responsible. And so one is to be truly mission-driven, to make a world a better place. I've said that. Entrepreneurs are extremely hardworking, voracious readers, always in pursuit of perfecting their craft, studying and learning, yet always finding balance in their life. I always found time to get in the ocean, to surf, to kite, to windsurf, to be with my family, to take my family to the ocean, whatever it might be. I am being part of a community. I've always found balance over the crazy amount of hours that we all have to work if you're in the tech industry. They thrive on creating and constantly pushing through conventional boundaries. Again, I love it when I can think through something. So if it's, why do we have to go black on these booms? Why don't we go blue? Things like that. Or, doing the integrated hammock up here and sleeping bag, thinking a little bit differently, about how to do things. I love that. And of course, they have blue minds and spend as much time in and around the water as that they can. So those are some of the tenets of Entrepreneurship. This is, again, what I do. I've incorporated this Entrepreneurship into my way of checking myself from time to time. Am I on the right path? And this is important. Why? Because life is incredibly short, right? We all got to make a difference as quickly as we can. So one final Tobyism, we were in Indonesia surfing in these remote islands for like 2 weeks off a boat. And one thing he said to me was, Doug, there are talkers and there are doers. And I ask all of you, which one are you? So that's it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. That was
Not what you expected?
that was great. I did want to just add a caveat in here is that we've got checks. Anyway, I'm going to announce the winners in a second. I want to basically add that I am very proud of all of you. You guys have done a great job, and I'm very happy to represent UC Santa Cruz, and I hope that you listen to the words of advice of Doug over here and think about what you're doing in terms of how it makes the world a better place, and also pursue your passions and continue on this path. A lot of you aren't necessarily going to pursue what you're doing right now, but hopefully you'll take away from it and come up again and really, really move things forward and whatever your next venture is. So with that, I'm going to announce it, but before I do that, I want to actually call out Kamel Hassan over here, who none of this would be possible without him. He's been a strong supporter of innovation entrepreneurship at UC Santa Cruz. He's the visionary behind getting our students out here into Silicon Valley and showcasing the work here and improving relationships between UC Santa Cruz and Silicon Valley around innovation entrepreneurship. And so you have my deepest gratitude. So thank you so much for that. And one thing Doug did not mention, you guys should all take advantage of the Santa Cruz New Tech Meetup. First Wednesday of the month, Doug offers a special deal, right? $5, Doug? Do you still offer that? Yes. He gives, food and drinks for $5 and a great people and great music you can't miss out. So you should all do this every Wednesday. Can we have Mr. Hassan join you up there and help present a check? Okay, that would be great. So we're going to start with the honorable mention. Well, let me do the honorable mention first, then you'll come on. So there are two honorable mentions. The honorable mentions, which come with a $500 check, but no actual big check, are Foodsy and Down Hammock. So I think I will start. You guys going to come up? You guys take a picture with us? Thank you. Do we have a camera?
Yeah, how many phones do you want?
Hang on. All right. Right. Okay. So, okay, that's great.
And how much do they win?
They each get $500.
Excellent.
And whoa. Foodsy comes back here. You leave. You. Oh, I like you. You're going to come back. You're a freshman. I'm going to have you on the stage again. Don't worry about it. People's Choice Award goes to Foodsy. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. There are a lot of really close people in Foodsy or for the People's Choice Awards. You all did well, but so third place, real time. What? Hide my microphone. Okay, I'm hiding the mic because I always listen to Sonia because she knows what's going on and I don't.
All right. This way, please.
Okay, second place. Frequencies. Well, we got a lot of people on the stage for this one, so. So guys, we do expect to use this money for something useful, like building a prototype. Okay. I want really stylish glasses.
All right,
Okay.
now we can't have you hiding behind the check. All right, so lower the check, please. Lower it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna move this. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to announce the winner in a second. I just want to say that I hope some of you made connection. If you didn't win today, don't feel bad about it. I hope a lot of you made connections that will actually take you to the next step. So, and if you want to come talk to me, I'm happy to talk to you. But a lot of these other people in the audience hopefully can help you also. Okay, so the winner of the Business Design Showcase for 2018 is C+ Tech.
Yeah.
Okay.